Hey guys. Um, right now it's just me. We'll see if anyone else wants to join. I'm just kind of doing random stuff. Just kind of want to play with stuff. Maybe answer some questions. I know some people have mentioned they want to see that again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, maybe play some games. Maybe do some art. Uh, we'll see. So we'll see. Hey, hey, hello, 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 hi. Okay, so I'm gonna start working on some stuff. If you guys want to ask anything, feel free. I'll see what happens. Just tell me if there's any issues that you can see. The start was a little quicker than I wanted to. Apparently, it changed the theme before I knew, so um, yeah. So yeah, we'll do some stuff. So right now, just for you guys that don't know, I'm using Autodesk Maya right now, and I'm going to be using that to act as kind of a reference point for some more traditional art in the near future. I'll have to go grab that if I do that. I might have to grab more equipment if we get to that point, but probably won't. I've been doing fairly well. I've just been stuck in this room that you can't see right now because I put up a thing behind me. Um, but yeah, not a whole lot. When is the next video? Can you please not spam that? For Arcane Arcade, I know we're going to be doing Avnia tomorrow night. For XP level 3, no idea. That's not my realm unless Jacob specifically asked me to help with something. That's on him. This is the second time I've been present while someone was live. First time was Colton going to Arby's. I still don't understand that stream, but sure. That was a very weird stream, as far as I could tell. I wasn't present for it when it happened, but it was a thing, I guess. People seem to enjoy it. Let's turn off this grid. Cool, cool, cool. What did I want? I wanted... There we go. Hey Jack! Is this 3D art? This is kind of. It's going to be a 3D model that I would then export and use as a reference for more 2D art, but I'm also going slightly through like a 2.5D because I'm planning on kind of slightly animating it a little bit, so redrawing everything in 2D, then exporting those into separate files, and then turning that into a 3D art. But this is if I even get to that stage on this thing. I'm just kind of doing things for fun right now. Can you give a hint on the new Avnia character? If you guys look at the thumbnail, as well as on the Discord in our Avnia section, I hinted at that there's going to be a new character to Avnia. Let's just say that there's going to be a new player. We have 5 players in the game. That's all I'm going to really say. You can get as much information from that character art as you can if you can glean some details from them. I wrote back first time watching a stream. I started watching like a couple of weeks ago, and I've loved Arcane Arcade. I'm glad you do. We all have fun doing it, and it's a little bit more chill, a little bit more random. Just have fun doing it as we do. I was watching Avenue until the stream started. Well, get ready for episode 3 tomorrow. We're gonna get back into it finally. Finally figured out how to go about it, and some of the players are more comfortable with playing online now, so doing the best we can. You'll see. You'll see. I won't say who the player is for the new Avnia. We'll see. I'll say they have been on Arcane before. That's all I'll say. More wild mount. I don't know. Jacob hasn't set up any time for that yet, so I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit. There we go. It's a little loud for me. He hasn't set time for that, so I have no idea. That's on him. Again, I am not in charge of that. He's the DM for it, so he's in charge of that. I was able to set up for Avnia tomorrow. So, my favorite your favorite character is Damon. I love him. I love his I love the voice Jacob does for him. It's so fun. Um, I wish I could do more voices like that for my characters, but what can you do? I'm not a professional actor. He's not a professional actor either, but he has more training than I do. He's been on stage a lot. Do you prefer DMing or begin being a PC? I I haven't done a whole lot of DMing. The only DMing I've really done is the couple of Fallout games that you guys saw. That if you guys look back into the things, I think they're still up. If not, then they're probably hidden. They were on Arcane at one point. I did the Halloween game, which was on XP level 3. I think that was also hidden. And then Avnia, of course. And I've DM'd for my family a few times. So I don't have a whole lot of experience compared to Jacob. I think I like being a PC more because of that right now. Though I'm enjoying creating a world. I think that's the thing. I like creating stories and helping come up with ideas and stuff. I've worked with Jacob with a lot of before I was even on Sunder, I was helping him. He had some hard times coming up with some of the storylines, so I knew some of the. So he was giving me examples of what he thought and what he was thinking, and both myself and Grace were giving feedback to him, especially for the what was his name? I think Krieg. Zephyr's father, that whole storyline, we kind of helped set that better, and we talked about the Abner storyline back in season 1. This was all back in season 1 since I began to play after that, and he kind of held off telling me stuff after that. But yeah, I like a lot of the Atlantica stuff that I wrote for Atlantica. I gave him directly a lot of ideas, and then he could run with that. And the same thing with other characters in the past and characters coming up in the future. Like Evenfall, I've come up with a whole lot of stuff for my character in Evenfall that I then can give Jacob, and he can create storylines from there. So that's kind of, I like being a player, but I like writing stories and coming up with lore and stuff like that. You and Jacob are my favorite members. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, especially since I don't think I'm on very often. So, well, very often. I've been on more, but when it first came out, I wasn't. I was kind of behind the scenes guy. Hi, Terra. Just want to say watching Avnia has been great. I hope you have as much fun behind the screen as I do watching you guys. I sure hope so. It's a little stressful for me. As I said, I'm not much of a DM, but I have fun. I definitely have fun. I have fun creating the stuff. I have fun listening to what the character ideas for the players are. I just wish we had more time to play it. And especially since everything is kind of crazy right now in the world, it's been hard to get to play regularly. So I'm glad we were able to pick up a little bit more this tomorrow. I was gonna say this Friday, but it's more than just this Friday. It's tomorrow. I love the character. Damon is just so, I don't know, he really has a lot of charisma, and Jacob is really good at selling his characters. Kind of foreign and new to this land type of character. I agree. He's what we'll say is that hasn't always been the best of players. He started off as a player, but he's DM'd way more than being a player. So he knows how to create a character. He knows how to create interesting characters, but he doesn't always have the best time playing them. So watching him play Damon and him actually enjoying it has been really great and really fun for us, because then we can actually play off of him a lot more. Yeah, so that it's very fun that way. What rules were you, what's your favorite pre-written? I don't know. I haven't played a lot of the pre-written. I liked Ghost of Saltmarsh because I played that one so thoroughly. And we've finished that one, of course, and I still have to render some of the episodes and get those ones up for you guys to get ready for. I think we announced, Tomb of Annihilation next. Strahd is really well written, as I said, but I haven't played through it. The only one I have fully played through was Ghost of Saltmarsh. So, what rules were you using for Fallout? I was using kind of a modification of the Savage World rules. So it's not, it wasn't D&D 5e. It was its own. It was a different system completely. We had used a modification of the D&D system before that. We keep trying to play a Fallout game, but it's never like stuck. Jacob still wants to come up with a system for it, and we just haven't fleshed it out yet. Do you have a theme for the art you're doing? I'm thinking of creating like a village in a rolling hills. That's why I'm kind of making these kind of hill-like terrain right now. It's a little hard to see, but that's pretty much the main thing. It's just a village in a rolling hills setting. Hey Tyler, thanks to you and all the other members of Arcane Arcade for putting out content. I've been quite depressed lately, and this has all helped. Well, I'm glad it's helped. A lot of us are also kind of going through the same kind of mindset issues. I definitely know I have. I've been not in the best mindsets at times, a lot of times, honestly. So actually doing this helps a little bit. I was just earlier today, I was like, I'm just going to do something. I just want to do something. This was not planned. I literally came up with this like 45 minutes ago, like 8 o'clock. I'm like, I'm just going to do something. Why not? Let's have fun. Just to kind of get out of the monotony of doing the same thing over and over and over. Just not doing anything, just staring at a screen all day. Do you guys split profits for XP level 3? We do not. XP level 3 is Jacob's channel. It is his baby. It is his thing. When Logan was on it, they were kind of splitting the profits a little bit, but otherwise, it's him. It's his livelihood. It's his job. It's his full-time thing. So that's his thing. Him and I kind of mostly split the profits, not 100% 50-50, but a decent chunk with the XP level 3 Patreon. Him and I work on that. So that's how I get a little bit of money from it. Arcane Arcade also kind of goes mostly to Jacob. The Arcane Arcade Patreon goes to Jacob and Colton. It's all kind of a little bit of a mess because we have so many different revenue streams. But it's mostly Jacob because it's Jacob's thing. This is his thing. We all have other things we kind of also do at the same time. My sister wanted China to be a gunslinger, and what is her fighting style? I kind of was thinking I had the idea of maybe making her a gunslinger, but Cyrus was also already a gunslinger, so I decided not to go full-blown gunslinger. And her fighting style is, I think, duelist, if I remember correctly. I'd have to check the character sheet. Throughout the quarantine, I've watched all of Saltmarsh and caught up on Waterdeep and Curse of Strahd. I'm really excited to see what you guys push out next. I am too. We have quite a few things down the pipeline, but of course things are kind of hard to do right now. We are just trying to figure out how we're going about it, and it's been a slow journey. Jacob's been really busy, and I haven't been able to talk to him as much recently, even though he's right across the street. We are still kind of separated because of the shelter-in-place orders. And he's been so busy, and like our schedules have been so mismatched. But I know some things that he has planned. Don't know when that's going to happen. All I know is that he wants to do it. I'm going to run Waterdeep Dragon Heist. What advice do you have in writing sessions and taking notes? For writing sessions, I say have a plan of what you think the players will do in that session, and have some things written out. Of course, with running a pre-written, it's easier because you can just pull from the book. You don't have to write anything out. For me, I'm not running a pre-written. I'm running a Hoboon campaign, so I have certain things I have that they may get to, but it's up to the players to decide what they want to do. So be ready to both have things prepared and be able to change on a dime. Come up with stuff, be able to be a little bit light-footed with it. Um. Hey, Spencer. Good to see you. Um. You you should try to get more people on the chat. We try and get like Jacob or Colton if they're available to get on. Maybe you want to join with us. And also Jack, if you're still here around, you should join in too. But we'll see about that. Um, I want to play games. I don't want to just make art right now. I don't want to just 3D model. Uh, I can't believe my random shit post ended up getting Colton to stream at Arby's. I hope you guys never change. Totally Colton's. That was totally Colton's decision with that, and both Jacob and I were like, okay, sure, go for it. Again, we're kind of just a group of random people, random friends that like to do stuff together. So why not do a random run to Arby's because we're idiots? This is like our some of our professions, but it's not. We're not professional with it. Again, I came up with just playing this 50 minutes ago. Just I wanted to do it. Um. Da, da, da. I'm going to DM a one-shot for my friends, and we are all new players. I'm preparing for chaos. Yes. Especially with newer players, you don't always know the I'm not going to say the proper way to play, but there's kind of a mindset that you get in when you are more used to the game that is different from when you are newer to the game. So be prepared for anything. Newer players tend to be, they're both great because they don't know what to expect with the game, but they're also the worst because they don't know what to expect from the game. I just come up with a plot for a session. I just go from there. Most of the stuff I come up with is improv. Some people go with that. I am kind of a mixture of both. I like to have both some improv and some not. Which characters do you enjoy playing the most? I honestly don't know. I've said this before in like past streams. There are certain classes that I have no interest in playing. Things like Barbarian. I have never really shown an interest in playing Barbarian, really. Bard is hard for me. I can't really play Bard very well. I play it sometimes, but not to its full extent. I like Sorcerer because Sorcerer is a nice one to kind of add into other to multi-class into. I feel it gives a bit of a magic flavor to like a martial class. So if Atlantica, I had Rogue, Sorcerer, it just kind of gave a little bit more flavor. Maybe it's not optimized, but it's just kind of fun to add that in. Same thing with like a Warlock. That's also easy to do that with. Though I do Sorcerer more often than not. So I would say Sorcerer just because it's nice to add that in. Though it's not always the main class. Is it kind of weird that I feel like I know you all really well and chat in live streams as if I was chatting with a friend? Yes and no. I have no idea who you are specifically. We've never met. We've never talked face to face. But at the same time, that kind of happens a lot with online creators. Is we kind of put ourselves out there and show our personality to you, and then you guys can kind of bounce off of and like feel like you're like a part of a community with us, and that's what we want to encourage: is building a community, is getting to know each other as a group, as like a solidarity. We're all nerds. We all like these games. We all are interested in kind of similar things with this, and we can kind of work with each other and have fun together. That's the whole point of this. So yeah, kind of weird, kind of not. You tend to be the most creative sometimes. It's amazing once they get a feel for how to go about their ideas. Exactly. The most creative, but also the most dumb at times too. So they're both fun and not. I love them sometimes. I love. It's hard. I think the first game is the hard. It's hard because they really don't know what they're doing. You kind of have to walk them through. But once they kind of get a feel for how the game is going, but they're still new enough to the game that they don't know have any like preconceived notions of the game. I feel like that's kind of a nice sweet spot with them. Personally, though. I'm DMing a heavily homebrewed game, and our rogue, her name is Cadrid, got her leg cut off last session, so the party pooled all the money together to buy her a robo-leg. It's glorious. That thing happens a lot, and it's fun. I know Spencer's character in one of our old games fell into lava, and both of their her character's legs were lost, and she had to have like, well, the character was a he, had to get like magical robo legs to compensate for the lack of legs. Eventually, they got them back, and that can happen if you get like a regeneration spell. But it's always fun to see how I like losing like limbs or eyes. Don't do it too much. But I like it because then you have to kind of go with it. I've enjoyed these random streams. I'm assuming it won't happen, but will you be continuing to do these types of streams? We don't know. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. Don't know. We kind of just do them on a whim, so we don't have any set schedule with them, so we just go with it. I'm in high school and don't have the money to DM my games through things like fancy grounds. Any tips for other ways to run quarantine D&D? There's always just the mind. Just get a ability to talk to each other via these or through a text-based system. Use Discord. That's free. Yeah, there are ways of doing it. I would. I think you can also get like a free version of like Roll20. Though we have always kind of preferred Fantasy Grounds for reasons. But that's kind of. There are ways of going around it. It all depends. It really depends on what you guys want. I've also heard that people like to use Tabletop Simulator. I've never used it, but I've heard that people do use it for that. But Theater of the Mind always works. All you need is a connection to each other via mics, and that's pretty much it. So it's going old school, but one time my rogue threw a dagger at a mountain to try to kill a dragon with falling debris. This was his first game. He rolled a natural 20 and knocked off part of the mountain. He killed the dragon. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. Hey, Trip Paces fellas. I don't know how to pronounce your name fully. I'll just call you fellas. Fellas. Hey. Jintan Messenger is a good choice because it has group village shop. I don't know what that is. I've never used it, but maybe look into it. Playing in person is so much fun. I agree. Wish we could do that right now. But since we're in a bit of a lockdown state for most places right now, and you really should stay inside for now, no matter where you are, even if it's even if your state or your country doesn't have a full-on lockdown, I would still suggest staying kind of in a lockdown state because it is kind of hard to. It's not nice. It's not fun, and we don't want to spread it and continue things going on. We want this to be as over and easy as possible, as quickly as possible. And the best way to do that is to make sure that we're all safe and healthy. Yeah. So I'm gonna be making some hills. Let's actually get a camera in here first. I wanna get like a proper camera. Camera is fine. pull this back. And then I don't need the side panel, so let's go camera 1. So what does this look like? Okay. Let's select camera. Okay, now I'm under the ground. There, that's pretty good. View. Let's turn on camera settings. This is where, yeah, resolution gate, right? Resolution gate, yeah, sure. And then settings. Let's make sure this is where I want them. I want redshift. I'm gonna want it in a JPEG format. End of world camera is camera 1, and then 1080p. Cool. So now if I go redshift. Okay. Interesting. Cool. Let's see what you guys are saying. Looks like you guys are talking about like your own games. I won't directly comment on those. You guys can talk about that in the chat. But they look interesting. They all look fun. Any person's game is fun as long as you and the players are all having fun together. That's the whole point. So let's bring this a little smaller. Pull this up. Pull this up. Pull this up. I might pause this just to not. Yeah, cool. I don't know if anyone else is going to join the stream. That's up to them. No one has. I gave out the option to, but no one has directly said that they would or not. Well, it's 9 o'clock for me right now, so it's not too late. For those like on the East Coast of the United States, it might be a little late. I think I imagine midnight for you guys, right? 3 hours ahead, if I remember correctly. What does it look like? Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's a little more. That's a little better. 11 for Basset Hound. So not Midwest, but just like one time zone over or so. I'm happily working on Homebrew right now and also watching this on another tab. That's always fun. Having something going on in the background. I do that a lot often as well. It might be midnight, but I'm nocturnal anyway. Same with Jacob. There's been quite a few nights where he stays up until like 6 in the a.m. working on a video. So that's always fun to hear when it's like he wakes up at like 2 p.m. I have school tomorrow, but I don't need to get sleep. It's about 11 o'clock. That's up to you. I say get sleep. Don't try to force yourself if you don't need to. But that's not me. I'm not. You do you. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. East Coast 3 hours ahead. Races are my favorite to homebrew. Yeah, I think it's. to me, I think most like subclasses, you can homebrew some subclasses, but it's most you can't really. I feel like there's not a lot you could do with homebrewing a whole on class. So a race is a little bit easier way to do it. Just don't make. I've had a discussion with Jacob, and we kind of agree that homebrewing a race that could just be done via a class, uh, probably just do the class. But homebrew is always fun. I basically all of Marsh the past week and using as background noise or to just using as background noise or to relax and watch. I do the same type of thing with other content. I'm not going to rewatch myself, but I do the same type of stuff. So, who have you known longest in the Arcane Arcade team? That would be Jacob. I have known him. Technically, the first time I met him was probably 8th grade. But then we went to the same high school, which was a very small high school, and we met on orientation day. Again, it had been 6 months since the last time I saw him the first time. The first time I met him, he was in a play. My mother knew his father, and so he was in a play, and so we went to the play to kind of support them. And then him and I met again at orientation for freshman year of high school. Freshman year, we kind of knew each other, but we didn't talk a whole lot. Started talking more during the summer between freshman and sophomore, and then after sophomore, we became very close friends. I think he was talking to Logan a lot more freshman year of high school. Because he also went to the same high school for the first year that we were there, and then he went on to a different high school after that. Yeah. Grace was another one at the same time. I actually had a class with her freshman year. So it was really Grace, Jacob, myself, and then Jacob and Colton knew each other. Jacob and Logan knew each other early on too. So I knew them tangentially. Colton came later, Olivia came later, Tim came later. But we've all known each other for at least like 5 years, at the least. I've known Jacob, how long ago was that now? 4 years of high school, 4.5 years of college. So 8.5 to 9 years now I've known Jacob. I found all of your characters really interesting. I don't know if you can say, but can we expect to see more of you on Arcane Arcade? Absolutely. I'm involved right now in a lot of projects that Arcane Arcade is working on, from Adventures of Avnia, which IDM, of course, it's my baby. I am in Jacob's new campaign that he announced on the update video, Evenfall. I'm in Tomb of Annihilation, so expect to see more of me, for now at least, unless Jacobs doesn't like me for some reason and just kicks me off the channel. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Damn, you guys have some history. Yeah, we do. We were friends well before XP to level 3 ever became a thing. I remember when he was first starting. Well, he had always kind of been interested in YouTube. I was doing YouTube at the same time. I have a YouTube channel. Haven't used it in a long time, so don't worry about it. Don't look it up. Some people have. It's garbage. But yeah, so yeah, we've known each other for quite a while now. And have just kind of been adding on. Our life has become like D&D for each other, with each other, but it's just because it's something that we found that we all enjoy doing together. That's the whole reason why we play D&D, isn't just because it's a topical thing, but because right now it's because we enjoy being together and playing it as a group. We had played multiple campaigns before XP level 3 really took off, or even or not even, or Arcane Arcade. A lot of the Arcane Arcade stuff is actually like Evenfall and Sunder, were continuations from campaigns that we have played in the past. There's some carryover, I would say. Characters can come up. Characters will be coming up, and it's all like a continuous thing. I love all the characters you guys do in your game, especially just like the way you guys have your characters interact is so fun to watch. It's so fun to play. It's so fun to watch as well. As a DM for Avnia, honestly, one of the best things is just sitting back and watching all of the players in front of me. Not even react to stuff I do, but react to each other. That's what I have like the most fun with. How are Tim and Olivia been doing? They moved to Washington or something, right? Yes. I don't know. I think it's Washington, yes. They have been good. We've played a couple of online games with them. I think we've played twice now. Haven't kept up with them too much. Some of the other Arcade people are a little bit closer to them, so they've kept up a little bit more with them. We miss them, but they seem to be doing well up there. Yeah, that's as much as I can say. Favorite Nat 20 on the channel? I don't know. I don't remember many. We've had some cool ones, but I don't know. My favorite Nat 20, probably in all of my playing as a character, as a player, was probably, it was from one of the D&D stories. I think the first time we did the D&D stories for the holidays, where we knocked a giant out with drow poison to the below the belt. I'll just leave it at that. What has been your favorite campaign on the channel? Sunder is always a good one for me, because it was the longest lasting one, had some of the most intricate storylines. There was also a homebrew one that was a carryover from past games, as I said. So that's probably my favorite one that I've ever been in on the channel. Honestly, on the channel in total. I also like Ghost of Saltmarsh, because I think, especially in the later games, we kind of fell into a groove with that, and the storylines were also kind of intricate, despite it being a pre-run. But yeah, so those are my things. With that, if you were a D&D character, what do you think your stats and class would be? Well, funny you mentioned that. I've done that twice within the past week of trying to figure that out. One, my family got together and we all made D&D characters for ourselves based off of each other. And the second one was a lot of the Arcane Arcade people took a 150 question quiz on to decide what type of character you were. I don't remember what mine was exactly, but it was pretty accurate. Hold on, let's see. I think it's in this chat. Yeah. I was a lawful good human wizard with strength of 8, dexterity of 11, constitution of 9, intelligence of 16, wisdom of 10, and charisma of 11. Which, that was pretty accurate. The other one with my family, we just kind of made it for ourselves, made it for each other, so it's a little bit more it's less set out fully. K Cook 199, thank you so much for the donation. When will Colton Gets Food come back? I don't know. That's up to him. He's talked about it. He thought it'd be funny. That's not up for me to decide or to even talk about. As if talking about it is any big spoiler. Don't know. That's the short answer is don't know. Thoughts on Yuan-Ti? I want to make a homebrew race that has relation to quarters. Don't know if I want to make them a subrace, Dragonborn, or subrace of Yuan-Ti. I do want them to have rings. I would say probably a mixture of Yuan-Ti and Azamar, if you want a homebrew race like that. I've gone up against Yuan-Ti in games before, and Yuan-Ti are actually kind of an important part of my Avnia campaign, so they're interesting. They're better at being bad guys. Same thing as like Drow. They are inherently evil, and so take that as you will. I totally agree. That's part of why I love DMing so much. I get to watch my players develop their own character dynamics with each other, and it's so fun. I think that's probably the best part of the game. That's why there's often points when we were playing like Sunder, when we had so many things happening, events happening one after another, that we kept begging for Jacob, can we just have what we call a beach episode, like the anime beach episode, that we just can like hang out and just role play with each other for a bit, just to relax and build up some dynamics. And sometimes some of the best moments come from those beach episodes. Bassett had the same idea as I did. Azamar and Yuan-Ti Pureblood. Would you be willing to get a little insight on how the whole Waterdeep thing is going to work in Saltmarsh thing by chance with Seymour and Arya? I cannot say anything on that. That is Jacob's campaign. He can say if he wants. Probably won't. Not until we start. What I will say is I know that some characters coming back from some of the older pre-written games. We're kind of having a connected universe between some of the pre-written games, as how Waterdeep went into Strahd. Saltmarsh is just, as you saw with the latest episode that came out today, we went to Waterdeep. So they're all in the same kind of universe, so Tomb of Annihilation is going to be the same type of thing. But that's all I can give. I can't say anything about specifics. I can't say who is going to be coming back, even if I may know, which I know most of it, I can't say. That's not for me to say. You're just gonna have to wait and see if we can get the Saltmarsh episodes out fast and in a timely manner, because we're not playing Tomb of Annihilation until Saltmarsh is done. Until Saltmarsh is completely out. We've already finished the campaign like well before this whole lockdown started, like a month before. So we've just been trying to slowly get them out. It's just so we've been busy, plus it's hard because it takes a long time to get those episodes rendered. One episode can take like a whole day to render, and that takes up our entire computer. So we can't just push them out quickly. We have to kind of go one day at a time. And often we have to we just wait, because we still need to use our computers for other things as well. Like my computer is like kind of the most powerful one that we have, and so I've done most of the rendering, but I use my computer for everything, both my work and leisure, so I can't render all the time. I can't give you an answer to that, Sheena. By the way, you spelled Sheena wrong, but that's fine. I'm assuming that's Sheena. And either Yaga or Cirrus is going to be in Tomb. It's my best educated guess. Shrug. Yes. So I think I don't remember the exact count, but I think what episode just came out today? Hold on, because I think I can guesstimate from there. Let me switch to the channel. So as episode 24 came out, I think it was like 35 episodes in total, something like that. that's I think it's about there. So another, it was about 35 or something along those lines. So another 10 about. Um, yeah, Gaelic is a hard language, and I tried to learn it a little bit. Um, yeah, it's hard. It's tough. Um, 'Cause the way the letters are written is not how we're used to saying it. So China, for instance, which literally just means fire in Gaelic, um, is spelled Tiene. You have Kyria, that doesn't look like Kyria. I don't know if that specifically means anything, but doesn't look like it. There's a saying in that people in like Scotland use a lot called that's Slanjava, and it does not look it's spelled anything like that. Slanjava. You would expect at the end it would be like V-A or something, Va, but it's like M-H-A-T-H. It's crazy. It's spelled like Ciarda. Yeah. So yeah, but it's also kind of a neat language. It's a fun language. It's also, if you want to have a kind of a Celtic vibe to your place, um, it's fun. Actually, I have some Celtic places in Avnia that I shared this map in the Discord server if you want to look. But it has some um, Gaelic names like that. So yeah, there's some Gaelic names. I try to have a lot of different names and use language to mean certain things for certain areas. Um, well, thank you for about the pretty map comment. Yeah, that's the map for Avnia. Um, I can zoom out a little bit. I'm using Worldamble. Not sponsored today, but you've heard about it enough in um, on Jacob's channel. So we are sponsored by G Fuel. So got that. Is Damon gay? I'm asking for a friend. Ask Jacob. I don't know. Um, he may be asexual. I don't even know if Jacob knows. We've had a wide range of people like that in our campaigns. We just decided that. And oftentimes we kind of create a character and we're like, they're more like this, I guess. And didn't realize it until afterwards. Kyria means black hair, at least according to my research, but Kyria didn't have black hair. Actually, I think Grace did mention the black hair thing, but I don't remember why exactly. I think it was maybe kind of ironic, maybe? I don't know exactly. Does Worldamble have a map maker? I don't know exactly. I know they have what I'm using here is the maps feature, which you can import like a background, which is the image itself. So this whole image here I drew out myself. And then I went in and added in locations on the top, which you can do. You can do this, and you can click on, let's say, if you want to look at Avnia, I can click here, get more information on the city of Avnia, but also open the map for the city of Avnia, which I also drew. So here you go. That's the city of Avnia. And I have locations there as well. It might have a map maker, but I'm not certain. I don't remember seeing that, so probably not. If you mean like drawing the actual image for it, I don't think so, but I don't know exactly. There's other map making tools like Incarnate that you can use, or you could do what I did and just make it in Photoshop. That's what Jacob and I have been doing. He's been using a different program though for a new map he's working on, but same kind of deal. You share a sponsor of Critical Role. That's cool. I don't watch Critical Role all that much, but sometimes sponsors tend to sponsor similar things. So if they're connected to, like, if it's a D&D sponsorship, they might do a lot more D&D based channels, including XP level 3. If they can get Critical Role, I'm assuming Critical Role is kind of expensive. You can get like Cody's channel. I forget the name of the channel, but there's a few other ones that I would imagine are the same. Did Spencer and Jacob ever get married? I know they were engaged. They are still engaged. They have not gotten married yet. They got engaged quite a while ago, actually, and they can't keep pushing it back. And right now, their plan was for October, I believe, but that's not set in stone. Had anyone made SFW art of any of the Arcane arcade characters? As far as I know, no. Not that I remember, at least. If anyone did, I think we mentioned if someone did do NSFW art, we would say we would both be weirded out by it and think that we finally made it. Finally, the Rule 34 applies to us. Is there any country or part of the map you like? For my game, I like Jugger's Mouth because it's a huge melting pot of races and cultures. My favorite part of my homebrew map is, of course, the Kingdom of Apnea. It's kind of, the game is centered around it in a way, and kind of for a somewhat similar reason, like as yours, as it's kind of a melting pot of cultures. Up here in the north, it's it's like Scottish, so it's kind of Gaelic and Celtic, cold, frozen. The area around like Edinburgh here is very much kind of like what I would call Whiterun in Skyrim, but you have this massive forest over here, and you have a little bit more Nordic up here in like the North Haven ruins and this place, which I still don't know how to pronounce quite yet, even though I'm the one who wrote it down. Then around Avnia proper, it's a little bit more northern France. Actually, a lot of this is so Avnia is heavily based off of Paris. Rivenhall down here is kind of a Gothic city. It's darker and Gothic in style. And then down here I have the Black Desert with Dreadwood, which is very much based off of kind of a 1890s, early 1900s, like Santa Fe. So it's cowboys and natives and mining and a little bit more. It's very different. So it has, and then down here, a colony of Avnia, you have Kingsport, which is like Kingston in like the golden age of piracy. So you have all these kind of like different regions of this one long, massive nation. And that's kind of what I like about my world in general, is I wanted to try and have so many different types of cultures, kind of figured out how I can have so many different types of things put into one map and have make sense. What's the name of the campaign the Abadir and everyone is from? Also, what the F is that Tinker's name that reminds me of Heimerdinger? I don't remember the Tinker's. Maybe you're thinking about Solomon. It might be Solomon you're thinking of. Solomon, Abadir, and a few of the other people are from a group called the Ember Warriors. What's funny is the Ember Warriors wasn't the main campaign. It was a side campaign just for some of that group. Um, the main campaign at the time was the Immortals, which took place at the same time on the same continent. And in the last game of the Immortals, the Ember Warriors assisted them to defeat the BBEG. So the Immortals haven't really come into play a whole lot yet, other than there was a reference to the BBEG. I forget where it was. I think it was on Moal-Kothor, the island Moal-Kothor. In the desert, you saw a giant like metal mask in the ground. That was a piece of BBEG. Jacob's referenced them in past videos before. So yeah. So the Immortals haven't come up, but not yet at least. But the Ember Warriors have. Have you ever played Warhammer 40k? I have not, but I have heard of it. I've watched some stuff on it. I don't know as much of the lore. It seems interesting, but it seems expensive to get into as well. So we haven't quite done that yet. Plus, I think it's even D&D is nerdy. I feel like Warhammer is its own special brand of nerdy. Where do you get your dice? We've gotten dice from a lot of different places. Sometimes we have a local store that we've gotten our dice from if we're going to order online. I've gotten dice from Amazon. Others have gotten from Kraken Dice. We've been recently getting dice from... we've also gotten dice from Easy Roller Dice too, which we had a sponsorship with them at one point. I think we still have a code for it, but that's not our main sponsor anymore. We have been... what was the new place that we got it? We're not sponsored by them, but we've been getting dice from another group. I don't remember. I can't help with that. Sorry. It's completely blanked off my head. Any tips for world building? I've started looking into as it would be a possibly productive thing to do while stuck inside. Make places that you find interesting. The way I made this world originally is I was creating random characters not connected to any specific world, universe, with for the XP Level 3 Discord, where you can do a lot of role playing. And I decided I didn't want to just have a whole bunch of characters without a specific backstory, so I kind of created a connected backstory within this world and environment, and then that evolved and became this world. Some of those characters are still kind of will be NPCs in this world, but not full-on characters, not full-on player characters anymore. I get a lot of inspiration for world building and storylines and ideas from anything, media. Just pay attention to anything and you can get inspiration from anything. Watch things and you can get an idea of maybe a quest line or area or location, anything. For example, as I said, a lot of my stuff comes from different places. I have Scotland, which I went to Scotland and got inspired by going there and the way it looks, and I made a whole Scottish area. I have France. I have like a Cowboys and Indians Wild West area. I have an Aztec area, which is the Imperium down here. I have Golden Age of Piracy. I have Egypt. I have ancient Greece. I have Renaissance Italy. I have other places too that I haven't even discussed yet. I'm not going to until we get to those places. Just pay attention, find what interests you, and build off from there. One other thing I suggest, and something Jacob and I came, is if you're making a map for your world and when you're doing world building, have ways to constrain areas, and fill in areas. The original map for Jacob's Eregia was very wide and there's a lot of open land, and he wasn't quite sure why it was like that, and so he changed it. And especially looking at like my map, I have a lot of constraints. The only main way to get from Alnia from the south is through this area. Same thing up here, or go through the mountains, and that's hard, and things like that. So kind of build in mountain ranges and fill out your world with forests and stuff like that, and just pay attention to how geography actually works. I've always been so interested in the story of the Immortals and Emperors. Wish there was videos of it. It's a long, long, long story. Literally, there are 3 different campaigns in that predating Sunder. Technically kind of a 4th, but that one's kind of half canon. There was one that is mostly canon that we've changed. We've retconned some stuff and kind of filled it out, and then you have the Immortals and Emperor Warriors. So it was it goes inconsistencies, which was like 100 years before Immortals. Then you had Immortals. Then Emperors came in a year after Immortals started, in-game time and real life time. Then after those were finished, it was about, I think, 20 years, and then Sunder started. But there's so much to do with that, and so much things that connect to the lore of the world that it would be hard to describe it. Just know that the way the world is now is all connected to how Immortals was, but at the same time, it's not. Immortals played a lot with multiple realities, time travel, and time travel, but it's less time travel and more decisions and how your one decision will affect the outcome, and making sure that things happen in certain ways to make sure that the outcome was the correct one that we wanted, and that might include sacrifices. Do you think I should upgrade my DM screen? I have the one from the Essentials kit. That's up to you. We have a basic DM screen. We have some for specific for various campaigns. We just like to get them, so that's up to you. If you want to upgrade your DM screen, upgrade it. If you don't, don't. It really is up to you. We even had some, I think Olivia even got a Sunder one made out of wood just specifically for Sunder, just because we wanted to. If you could change one thing Analytica did, what would it be? I wish you didn't get separated during the quest line in her city with the I forget her name. Erebus? Yeah, Erebus. I wish she didn't get separated, and then she didn't have to die, and then to get brought back as a revenant warlock of the Undying, and then had to be feeble-minded in order to kill Erebus. Because I wish that storyline was a little bit more. It was kind of cool, but at the same time, I was in control of my character during a pivotal part of my character's narrative. That was kind of the one kind of issue I had with it. So I don't think it would change the outcome of the story. I wouldn't change anything about the ending. It kind of happened not how I expected it to, but how I had a feeling it would. I'm starting to thinking to DM. Any tips for a new DM? Yes. If your players are having fun and you're having fun playing the game, you're doing it right. It shouldn't be players versus the DM. It shouldn't be DM versus the players. You're all creating a story and having fun playing a game together. Remember, it's a game. You're all there to have fun together. If someone isn't having fun, talk to them about it. Be open about criticism. Be open about maybe changing something. It's a game, and it's meant to be played and have fun. If you're not having fun, no D&D is better than bad D&D. And that's a thing I've heard multiple times, and I 100% agree with. Don't play if you're not having fun. and don't DM if you're not having fun. So that's my biggest kind of suggestion. Some of you are giving some tips on how to make continents. Have fun with it. There's a lot of great tips. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. I kind of just hand drew my map on a piece of paper first, and then detailed it from there. I've seen other people use areas as like a reference. I've even seen someone take the San Francisco Bay and turn that into a continent by using the outlines as the outline for the continent. So I've also seen people create like tectonic plates to create like the ridges and where mountain ranges are. I didn't do that specifically with Avnia, but I kind of already generally know how it kind of works. So that's why I have like two mountain ranges here. There's a mountain range here where it looks like there would be like a tectonic plate there. You can also pay attention to like how areas climates transition. It goes like jungle and swampy to desert. If you notice, if you look at how they transition in like Africa, it goes from like jungle to desert, often with a savanna in between, to temperate to cold. So yeah, and so with the center of the world always being the jungle area. So the equator would be somewhere in my game, somewhere around probably here. So yeah, you can pay attention to that. Also note that like rivers run from areas of highland to lowland, things like that. How do you adjust the story for when your characters go off the rail? Be flexible. Give them multiple options and be ready to improv something. They might not follow exactly what you had in mind. What I tend to do is I have a thought in my head of how I think it's going to go, but just react to how they go from there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I had a point when Jacob, being not a great player at the time, did something that I would definitely not suggest you do as a player, and that was be a murder hobo at one point. That completely derailed the campaign. It derailed the Fallout game that we were playing completely. It was completely derailed and completely, I didn't even know how to go from there, really. I would have to retcon it, and I wasn't sure if I did not want to do that, and so we kind of just stopped the campaign from there. So sometimes it happens, and you have to be ready for that. I wasn't a very good TM at the time. Jacob wasn't being the best of players, so we just had to move on. Bassett has a good thing. Just go with it and find a place to put your plot. That's kind of how you have to think. For example, with Avnia, I have a general idea of what they're going to do, but I don't know how they're going to go from point A to point B. Not exactly. I might have an idea of what they might do. I might put some things in that pathway, but I'm not going to force it. That's a railroad. I don't want to railroad them too much. I don't know what I want to do now. Want to maybe play a game? I don't know. Does anyone want to? I wonder. Let me ask. Who to do. Okay. You guys probably heard that. Apparently they are playing a D&D game right now. So, don't know if they're going to join or not. I don't actually have Siege. Yes, I do have a new character. I've been playing the new character with my family. I got my sister into my dad has been into the game, so the three of us have been playing recently. Echo's the new character. I actually kind of like her. I kind of like her playstyle. I haven't been liking playing multiplayer a whole lot right now. I don't know. I get kind of angry every time I play Overwatch in a regular game. So we've been going against bots to kind of get my sister used to playing the game, and I've been having fun with that. So let's see what we have. Let's see what I have installed. I'm gonna pull up Steam right now. I might save out. Let me pull this off the screen. Don't need to save it in front of you guys. Oh, go desktop. Fine. That's fine. Cool. You'll need to do a group live chat. I agree, and I want more people in this chat, but they're not playing. They're not coming on right now. They're a little busy, it seems like. So, you know what? This will be nice and easy, especially if I want to be talking to you guys. Now let's play some Civilization 6. Yeah. Sure, why not? If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. I am having fun answering the questions more than doing anything else right now, actually. Yeah. I'm excited for Aviano tomorrow. Finally getting back into that game. Finally. Just took it a long time. Can we play with you? I haven't done a multiplayer Civ game in a while, so I haven't actually really ever played it fully either, so maybe we'll see. Have you played Hollow Knight? I have not yet. I heard it's good though. So I like how my screen is black right now, so it's very dark. Oh, now it's red. This is really loud. Sorry guys if this is too loud for you. I'll try and turn it down. But yeah, I have heard of Hollow Knight. I haven't played it, but I've heard it's good. So, ooh, it's very blue now. Ooh, look at this mood lighting. Oof. Let's turn down the audio. There we go. What type of victory are you going to go for? I don't know. I kind of just always go with the flow. Can I go back? There you go. Yep. Do you have Middle-earth Shadow of War? I don't. I've heard mixed things about that. I played the first game a little bit. Jacob played the first game. I know. I don't know if he played the second game. I was kind of iffy on the first game, so I didn't get the second game. Have you played Endless Legend? It's not like Civ, but it's. I'm assuming you mean it's like Civ, but in science fantasy setting. Again, I've heard about it. I haven't played that one. So I do not know that one as well. Have you sold your soul to Tom Nook? I have. I haven't played it in a little while. I'm just gonna play a single player game right now. Why not? I like playing Eleanor of Aquitaine for some reason. I'm just gonna be a settler because I'm a bit of a pansy. Sure. Let's turn all these on. Cool. And then put those. Why can't I start the game? Website says best known. Website's unsupported. What does that mean? I've never seen that before. See ya, guys. I have to go off right now. Have you thought about being on the subclass podcasts? I would. Actually, I think I was on it once. I was on it once. I would come on it if I'm asked to be on it. They haven't done it in a little while. That's just play continents, I guess. Continents, islands, I think. Where is it? Continents and islands. Cool. Select. Oh, map size small. There we go. Is that the issue I was having? I don't know. Sure. Let's see. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I would be on it if I wasn't. If they, or not if I wasn't. I would be on it if they asked. But they haven't been doing the podcast for a little bit. It's been hard for them to get it, especially since they are we're on lockdown right now, so they haven't been able to meet in person for a while. So, but since the new year, they've been having a hard time with that. He's gone in this one. I don't play Civ. I know he's packing heat. Yes, he is in this one. I don't know if he still is dropping nukes like a madman, but I definitely know about the backstory on it. I played Civ for a few years now. A few years. I played Civ. I played a little bit of Civ 2. Played some of Civ 3, but I was so young that I didn't really play with anyone on it. Played only by myself. Civ 4 I actually played pretty extensively. Played Civ 5 later on, after they had come out with some expansions, and then when Civ 6 came out, I played it. I got into it because my dad plays this game a lot. Well, it looks like I'm on Civ 6 for nothing. Sorry, I don't quite want to set up a whole thing for that quite yet. Not quite up to playing like a multiplayer thing and trying to figure out making sure it works and all that, and it'll just be hard. So I heard you had a doggo. I have 2 doggos. I have one very old, blind, light-sensitive, deaf doggo that in human years would be like 95. And then I have another one that would be in her human years 60s. We call her the Ghetto Dog because she was a stray that we found, brought to the SPCA. And then a few months later, we found her again at the SPCA dog place that they have like in the mall. And she recognized us, we recognized her, and we were like, oh, okay, well, guess we have to do this then. It's fine. Let's explore, and let's explore. Cool. And then let's go with pottery first, and then monument. Cool. Yeah, do that. Play single player alongside of me. I have a bunch of mods on right now too, so I don't know how that will interact with the playstyle. So, actually, let me move my camera. Hold on. Can I? Here, let's go. Can I just go like that, and then move you there? Yeah, there we go. Cool. There we go. I'm over here now. Hi. Lord of the Rings 5e ever? We have not. I don't know why. I guess we just haven't found it. I know Jacob really loves Lord of the Rings, so I'm kind of surprised that we haven't, but we haven't played that one yet. Transition was smooth. Thank you. I made it myself. We might be starting to use something like that a lot more in the future. We'll see. Let's So what do I want after this? Oh, pottery. Okay. Let's go. Q. I want settler granary. Sure. Let's go with mining next. I want to wait till I make civilization. Oh, there we go. Should turn on yield icons. There you go. If you want to see it, sure. I usually don't play it with that. I just haven't ever really done that, but sure. I'm a little bit more different with city placement. I like, I do things in a different strategy of a way. I don't even know if that was English. I only have 12 days of online school left. Oh, yeah, school is weird right now, but I now I have the capital. Let's do the double thing. Cool. Well, congrats for you. Hopefully there's a hopefully you find. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. Good luck with your end of school. Is there a reason your D&D characters only fall in the female variety? I just find it more interesting. I don't have a super specific reason why. That is how it is. Jacobs tends to be more male because that's what he enjoys. I enjoy more female. Grace and Colton kind of flip between. Spencer does that as well. They kind of flip between just depending on it. I just think it's more interesting. Just personally to me. I always find it more interesting. Nothing specific. Does the name Arcane have a backstory to it, or did you guys just come up with it? We more or less just came up with it. We want something interesting for the name of our channel. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's fine. We wanted to have an interesting name for it, and since we wanted to do like game stuff, arcade kind of came up. And since we do a lot of D&D stuff, we want it to be kind of fantasy sounding, so Arcane Arcade. And it had a nice alliteration. So yeah, that's what we did. What's your favorite civilization? The one I'm playing right now. I really love to play Eleanor of Aquitaine. I love being able to take over people's civilizations just via loyalty. Let's boost this up. What do I want? I want this. Yeah. Let's heal. Let's hope the spearmen don't come for me. Arcane Arcade is a really good name. Well, thank you. It was mostly Jacob and Logan. I think came up with it mostly. I think we all had some say in it, but I think Jacob definitely came up with a lot of it. Let's move you away from them. I don't want to deal with that. Where do I want to put you? I don't know what's north of me. I'm assuming that might be... because this seems a lot more inland. Do I risk it and go north? Towards Russia. Probably shouldn't. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Put it there. Yeah, sure, I'll put it there. How did you find interest in D&D? I found interest in D&D because Jacob brought it up to me. He had people who he knew who played it and introduced him to it. Stop going over towards the spearman. Dumb AI. So since he got into it from people he knew, he got his friends group into it, and so then we all got into it. I think it was Marshall who got him into it, like, originally. So that's how we all kind of got into it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Some nice spots to the south, some yield. So I like this area right here to put a campus district. That'll be really nice. Hopefully, if I can get something, if I can do it. Oh, what is your favorite magic item? I have always liked the Staff of Woodlands. Or the Vorpal Sword, though I don't like to use the Vorpal Sword just myself, but I like the Staff of Woodlands as an item. It's very kind of cool, very interesting. Plus, I have some history with it. Yeah, sure, let's build that. Cool. Then I want to make sure I capture that. Sure. Let's build the monument. Sure. This question came up in the podcast. If you transport to the capital city of your world, what 3 items would you bring and what would you do? What 3 items would I bring to the capital city of my world? I would say Abney is the capital city of my world, since it's like the biggest city and the capital of the largest nation. I don't know what I would bring. I would know I'd be a lot more safe than a lot of places and a lot of worlds. Because it's such a cosmopolitan area, and there isn't a whole. It's far more like under control, and there are like the beginnings of like technology and industrialization and modernization. So it's not out of the question that it wouldn't be horrible. It's like slightly more Victorian, turn of the century area. Though more along the Victorian French Revolution side. So it's, I don't know, items. Probably, what do I want? Hold on, let me think of this. Fertility rights is good. I don't have that other one, so let's go. Yeah, let's go fertility rights. I like city growth. What do I want? Let's build here. And then let's get Granada. Trying to think of items. I don't know. Do you prefer pre-written adventures or homebrew? I prefer homebrew because it's more tailored to the players and to the DM. You're able to come up with stuff and build stuff as both a player and a DM. Fill stuff out, change how the world kind of works on a dime almost. Yeah, it's just I find them slightly more interesting instead of being having to shoehorned into an already pre-written game. Doesn't mean that pre-written games aren't fun. They are. But I just like homebrew better. Have you ever used the homebrew book Tome of Beasts before? I was gonna use its infamous Death Butterfly Swarm against my party. I have not, but that sounds interesting. I might look into that and use it in Avnia. We'll see. Better remember that. Sounds very fun. Death Butterfly Swarm sounds great. For a new DM, I would recommend running a module before making your own homebrew world. I 100% agree with that as well. You can see how they are kind of written before how most D&D games are written, how pre-written it is, and get kind of an idea of how it is without having to write your own stuff and know the intricacies of them. Jacob didn't do that. He started with homebrew, so it's each to their own person, but he started off as a player and then went on as a DM. So, Blood Hunter, good or bad? I haven't had any issues with it, so good. I made the mistake of going straight from reading the books to creating my own world and am on my third custom world, though I have now sunk around 200 hours into world building on this one. Um, I don't count that as a problem. I count that as you having fun doing things how you will. If you find that as a problem for yourself, then that's on you, and you need to find what you actually enjoy doing instead of doing that. But it sounds like if you're, oh, excuse me, if you're spending 200 hours um, making a world, then you probably enjoy making worlds and probably having fun doing it. Thoughts on the Lurker of the Deep subclass? Just discovered it the other day and really want to play one. I have not played one, but Spencer played one in I think it was yeah, I think it was in Salt Marsh. And it seems interesting. I don't know enough about it to really know. They seemed like a fairly standard warlock from how they were kind of playing, but they didn't get into like the later levels of that subclass because they were cross-classed into it. But it seems interesting. I would be down to at least trying it out sometime. Blood Hunter's fun, but its healing building is a little OP. I haven't played Blood Hunter, so I don't know exactly either. Especially since they updated Blood Hunter 2. Since Matt completely redid them, I don't know how different they are now. Do I want the government plaza right now? I think I want another settler. Let's promote, get the science. A lot of it's on maps. I love making maps. I love making maps too, and that's why you see I have a lot more maps on that. I have quite a few city maps. I've been doing a slightly different style than some other people have done, just because I find it interesting to do it in that style. It's 1:04 right now. I am, yes, we are in California, so it's 10 o'clock for us. So it's not that late. It's a little late, but not that late. I can get 4, yeah, that's what I want. Let's see. If you had to live in one of your friends' campaign, which would you choose? Would you survive? I would have to choose Jacob's campaign, because it's the one I know the most about it, and it's the one I know the most about the homebrew setting for it. Would I survive? Depends on where I am. Possibly. I don't know if I would survive because I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm the best with survival for living in like a time without modern conveniences and technology. But I would have a better chance of surviving if I was in like a Regia compared to somewhere else. So, would I survive? Maybe. Yeah. I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but it's the best answer I can give, honestly. I might. One of my favorite things about Spencer is how she shows humans can be interesting in D&D and aren't just a basic race for newbies. Yeah, I think we all kind of agree that as just a group, what do I want? Let's go with the Classical Republic. That we definitely disagree. No, I want no. Let's go. Boop. Plus trade routes because I need to get one anyways. Nice one maintenance. Let's go great. Oh no, not that. No, let's go that. Let's go plus 50% and then plus 2 per save point gain. Cool. Yeah, we all agree that we disagree with the idea that humans are boring. They can absolutely be interesting if you make them interesting. They're just like any other race. I prefer to have a little bit more fantasy in mind, just because. But I've played mostly human type characters. I've played non-human characters. It's all a matter of preference for that. I will go to sleep. Bye, guys. Bye. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Have a good sleep. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's put you there. Oop, there's a barbarian down there. That seems spooky. Oh no, let's get the wheel. Now I want cereal. I know, right? Have you ever made a character where you rolled the stats and got minimum in every score? It's not fun. I haven't got minimum, but I've gotten some weird stat arrays. China, for instance, I had the way we tend to roll is 46. Get rid of the lowest and roll those stats twice, and then you can choose between the two. China got an incredibly high roll and incredibly low roll. Not minimum, but certainly below average, and certainly above average. So, but we kind of agree that we like not being perfect. Hold on, I don't want to build the library because I already built one here. No, I haven't built a library in you, so we can send you down that way. Let's get Granada. Sure. So we like to combine them and kind of make some things high and some things low. We've done that multiple times before. And word on what the next XPW Patreon pack on when the next Patreon pack is coming out. It was supposed to have come out last weekend. I think Jacob got busy or something, but he was supposed to have written most of it up. We already have all the ideas written out. I have the cover done. I don't know what it's stating right now, but he was supposed to have gotten it done on well, first it was supposed to be the weekend and then earlier this week, but he's been busy. I really need to talk to him about it and make sure that it gets out. We're also working on the pack after that, and we have ideas for the pack after that. So we're working on it. It's just we need to get them out. This month has been slow going with things and being able to communicate because we're all kind of busy, especially him right now. It's been rough for him a little bit right now. Have you ever tried the Aqueduct Industrial Zone Complex to get high adjacency bonuses? I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I may have indirectly, but I don't. When I play this game, I kind of play it in like a laid-back fashion. I don't go after one thing, or I'm not trying to optimize 100%. I'm trying to win, but I'm just kind of playing it and seeing how things go as I go, and not play it to 100% efficiency. Currency, sure. Because I kind of like to do it just while I have other things. I might have some video playing in the background, or I kill some time, or I'm doing things like this. I'm talking to you guys where I don't want to focus 100% on the game and kind of bounce between different things. That's kind of how I use it. Despite the fact that I have how many hours in this game? 365 hours total. What's your favorite NPC in a campaign? That's a good question. What is my favorite? Let's put you here. Sure. The wall works. What's my favorite NPC in a campaign? It wasn't I don't know if I could consider them my favorite, but the one that I always remember the most from a campaign was a NPC. Well, it was a vampire NPC that was friendly. Had a major lisp. I forget the name. I don't remember, but I know a lot of the other players had a very close connection to them. Um, and all you wanted is juice. You wanted juice. Um, wait, what? They burnt down my place? Okay, that's great. So that was my favorite, probably, especially since the others loved him so much until he got killed by the BBEG. That was great. Did you see my question? What question was that? Draw how to. I don't want to look too far back. Would there be more girlfriends in the future or just Jacobs? I don't know what you mean by that at all, so I don't know how to answer that question. If you could define it, I could maybe answer it, but... Have you ever murdered a child in D&D? I haven't directly murdered one, but I was privy to a child murder. Well, actually, no, it wasn't a child murder. It was a gnome murder, which is... Is that any better? um, I don't think I've murdered a child. No, I was there for a child murder. The very first episode of Immortals, Grace's character um, killed a child who was going to be turned into a hag, and there was no way that we knew how to cure him, so we just no mercy kill, I guess. My character was there, knew what was going to happen, and didn't stop it, so kind of part of a murder, of a child murder, I guess. We try not to do it often. We're not murder hobos. Uh, um, are all of your girlfriends? So I'm guessing in the group. Most of them are. Um, I don't have one. Grace doesn't have a significant other. Colton does, and they've been on the channel before. They're also our main artist, Victoria or Sari. They're the person who does most of our art for our campaigns. So they're very much into, and they're also an admin on our Discord, so you can check that out there. Of course, Jacob and Spencer. So most of them, yes, we have most of our significant others. We either knew because we were already friends, and so we had the same interests, and so D&D is just a common one that a lot of us have. So yeah, I guess so. Commercial hub. Let's first. What do I want? Epic. Sure. Let's build the granary. Let's appoint. I want the great people. Thoughts on grungs. What are grungs again? Hold on. Let me save. Let me open this. They're funky. 5e. There we go. They look funky. They're strange. I don't know. I don't have much of an opinion on them. They're kind of funky. Like frog people. Kind of the same thing with Kuatoa being fish people and stuff, I guess. Frog boys. Frog boys who are racist. What D&D race isn't? um, if you made a grung monk, I would be satisfied. That sounds more like a Logan character. Do you play any other systems other than D&D? We played the 10 Candles system, which is a kind of a one-shot based system. We played Savage Worlds. We've played City of Mist. I think City of Mist is the one that we kind of like the most right now outside of D&D 5e. But yeah, we tried a few. Maybe not a lot, but we have. And we've done like modifications to various systems too. So like we've done modifications to the Savage Worlds system. We've done to make it like a Cyberpunk or a Fallout one, as I mentioned before. What do I want? There's Mexico City, which is production. Currently belongs to Peter. I don't really want to fight with someone right now. But I don't want another one of those. So I'm going to go for Mexico City. Okay. So yeah, so we have played a couple of other RPG systems. Thoughts on Tesseract? That's an interesting one. I never played in it. Ooh, of course that exploded and destroyed my thing. Yeah, I never played in it, so I can't give it directly from a player's perspective. But I know a decent amount because we're all friends. We all talk. Hold on, what's this? Holy districts. Oh, I don't have a holy district right now. Probably need one. I might build a holy district in there. So I don't know much about the story. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to the story. Same thing with Sunder before I started playing it. I kind of didn't. I tried to not pay too close attention to the storylines, especially if I was to ever play in it. I heard both good and bad things from it. I know a lot of people enjoyed the lore of it. So the lore was very interesting. But there were some issues with some of the DMing style. Let's put it in Mexico City. So it's kind of a mixed bag from what I've heard. I've heard it's good though, overall. Who's the worst player you've ever had to play with? Jacob. The first, whenever if I've ever had to play with, as a DM, Jacob. He did some dumb stuff when he was a player one time. But he's gotten better, especially with Apnea. He's done really well with Apnea. We had another player who we all agree is kind of our that player. They no longer play with us, and we haven't played or talked with them for a long time now. But yeah, they did some dumb stuff, and we didn't. We've mentioned them in D&D stories before, and Q&As before. So I'm not going to double up on them, especially since I don't have know as much of the stories as some people do. This was early when we started playing D&D, so that's probably the hardest person. Freaking out over stuff that they shouldn't have freaked out about, mainly. Leon needs walls. Probably that wizard from the Fireball series. Them too. Why? They should have stayed dead. No, not truly, but. Have you ever encountered a Conoloth as a player or used one as a DM? I have not. That sounds interesting. I might look into that and see if that would work with Avnia. They seem interesting, as far as I know, because we don't always know exactly what everything is. Okay, Scout, why did you run there? Why are you dumb? What was the most cringy character one that you've played? Ooh, that's an interesting one. One that I have played. Um, Cringy. That's interesting. I'm trying to think of one because I don't think any of my main campaigns, I don't think they were cringy. Um, so my main campaigns I had Thoril, which I didn't play very much of and we didn't really get into. He may have been cringy because that was one of the first characters I ever played. Um, but I can't call him cringy because I didn't play him enough. Um, then there was Thane, who I don't know if it was cringy, but they didn't have the most personality. Um, then Hela, which did have a decent amount of personality. Then Atlantica. I don't know. I'm probably forgetting them, honestly. We've played so many small campaigns, I don't know if I can remember all the things that all the campaigns I've been in, all my characters. So I'm missing some. I'm 100% missing some. Cringy is the word that's getting me too. Yeah, you broke me. You absolutely broke me. Um, Opinion. I designed a Zeiss system and my playtesters love it. I have a fantasy setup and a Firefly setup. Wondering what you think my next setup should be. Maybe fantasy setup and a Firefly setup. I'm assuming Firefly mean like the TV show Firefly, which is kind of a sci-fi space one. Um, Maybe do like either maybe a cyberpunk, kind of grungy on Earth based one, or maybe you could do an ancient one. That'd be interesting. So like an ancient Greece or ancient Rome. Um, and maybe you could do like an Italian Renaissance. So kind of that going from medieval to more modern with maybe some more firearms if you, but like not as good at firearms. Some ideas. I'm assuming this is for the Arcane. Yeah. They're pretty cool. They mostly pursue knowledge rather than fight. Make deals a lot. If they do fight, then they have a variety of unique abilities. Super wild. I would definitely look into them. They seem interesting. I'd have to see where they would fit into my world if I was to do them. I don't know if Jacob knows about them, but he probably does. But maybe he just hasn't thought about using them yet. My group has met and played with Gary Gygax. Ooh, that's cool. Um, the one of the original creators of D&D. Um, that's cool. That's kind of a neat thing to be able to say. Um, I'm using one as the main BBEG helper. Interesting. Very interesting. Would you say you play more male or female characters? If you see a reason for that at all, I definitely play a lot more female characters. Um, as I said before earlier in the stream, I don't have a specific reason for it. I just find playing them more interesting. Everyone has a preference. That's mine. Um, I usually tend to not pick a gender when I first start making a character, but they kind of default into um, female more often than not. I love the Skyrim music in the background. Yeah, I'm using one of Jacob's RPG playlists. We have a whole Spotify account. Um, Actually, I need to close this. Um, dedicated to various RPG playlists that we have that we use during games. So like if you want to chase or combat, various types of combat, everything from just standard, creepy combat boss, or like the final battle. There's sacrifice and stuff. So right now I'm listening to the city playlist that we have. And we have them from different things. So like the city playlist, we have um, Elder Scrolls, from Skyrim to Elder Scrolls Online and Oblivion. I believe. I think I saw Oblivion. No, maybe that's just online. Dragon Age, Witcher, Divinity, even Fallout, Pillars of Eternity. Oh, there's Oblivion right here. So yeah, it's just called RPG playlists. You should be able to look it up and find them fairly easily um, on Spotify. We've curated a whole lot of playlists for that. I use the Spotify playlist for my game. Yeah, we like to do that, and I'm planning on maybe expanding some of them for Avnia because I have some very specific areas that I want specific playlists for. Um, the account is RPG playlists. Just that, RPG playlists. The one I'm currently listening to is the city playlist. There are a whole bunch of different playlists for different moods or events or things like that. Have you gotten into any RPGs, role-playing games? Of course. I have a bunch. Everything from Fallout, Skyrim, Witcher. I've played some of Pillars of Eternity and Divinity Original Sin. I played some MMOs back in the day. I used to be a lot into the Pirates of the Caribbean Online. I played a little bit of WoW, but not a lot. I played Star Wars: The Old Republic. I played the first Knights of the Old Republic as well. I didn't finish it, but I was very close, if I remember correctly. See you, Bassett. See you tomorrow in Avnia. What is your opinion on parties with conflicting goals or agendas? Should this be avoided or encouraged or neither? I feel like it could help show more of characters, but might also drive the party apart. Look at Salt Marsh for a game where the party has conflicting goals. I say it's both good and bad. For example, having Sheena on one side and Hemo on the other, where Hemo was so against pirates and Sheena had such a connection with the pirates. That was bad. And it caused major inter-party tensions, and especially if one person could not, because of the character could not budge on something, that inter-party conflict was bad, in my personal opinion. But if you look at like later on, a lot of the later party had conflicting goals, but their goals kind of aligned at the same time, so they didn't directly conflict with each other like perpendicularly. They kind of were parallel to each other, which allowed for us to kind of agree that we're a bunch of assholes working together and we all have our own goals in mind, and that was okay. And that's how I think it really should be done. Having goals that are if you want in a party conflict, if you want different goals that still the party could work together as a team, I would say having the goals be parallel but not conflicting, because conflicting can cause party issues and then just cause everyone to be annoyed at each other. Who's the best player in Critical Role? You're gonna hate me. I don't watch Critical Role, so I can't say for definitive. If I could say Matt Mercer, but he's not a player, he's a DM. But he's kind of a player because DMs are players. DMs are playing too. It's all a game. We're all playing together. So I say Matt Mercer. Ha! Yay, Jin Lawrence's life. I don't know why I'm life, but sure. Um, Salt Marsh was rough for a while. Yes, it was. Um, it was tough. There was a bunch of inter-party conflict, and I think the party got more settled, and I think the party grew because of it. Oh, rip. That's rough. I need you to repair. I need to get this, so hold on. Let's go. Let's click you. Let's queue this up. Let's go builder, settler, library. Will Tim ever come back to Salt Marsh? Do I want to say? I will. He does not. He left, I think. I don't remember exactly when he left in the timeline of when we were playing Salt Marsh, but no, at that point he took a break from playing D&D for a while and then left to live up north. We've since played a couple of times since then, but it's been kind of there was a time where he didn't join a whole lot. And then we got so far into the game that he didn't really have an opportunity to join back up again. What do I want? Let's go with culture. Sure. Critical Role takes a long time, yeah. Jacob and I have had discussions about Critical Role, and he's played some parts for me that he enjoyed. I don't not want to go into war right now. So I know some about it, but not enough to make I don't have personal experience with it. Who has been your biggest celebrity crush besides me, obviously? Oh, of course. You are definitely my biggest celebrity crush. Celebrity crush, I would have to say probably Emma Watson. I grew up with Harry Potter. I kind of identified with Hermione, being kind of a nerd. And plus, she's just a great person all around, especially since coming out of Harry Potter series and doing her own stuff and being an ambassador for the UN. Just so much cool stuff. My family also thinks I'm have a crush on Saoirse Ronan, but I don't know enough of her to really say that one. I like the Irish accent though. Yeah, we missed Tim too. We missed both Tim and Olivia. They both went up north. What mods do you have that are adding new religious beliefs? Let's see. Can I look at? Let's bring up like my workshop, because I'm playing this on Steam. Let's see. Can I see? No, I don't have workshop files. I want to see what I have. Can I see what I have, please? Where do I... Is it in here? Can I look here? Oh, here, mods in use. So I have better civilization icons, better trade screen, better unit flags, expanded things, civilizations expanded, detailed worlds, the DLC, submission pack. Which one was it that I have the things for? Environment, a couple wonders, radical measuring tools, starting scout. Yeah, another mod pack, recurrence industrial start. Here we go. This is the one I have, the Tamakin's historical religions. That's the one I'm using. I got thing. Yeah, so I was busy. Yep, that's fine. Hold on a second. Cool. Okay, let's see what you guys have been saying since then. So yeah, for you asking about the mod, this is the one right here. That's what I'm using. For the extra religions. What do you do with a player who is always pushing your buttons? You let them, unless they're pushing your buttons to the point that you don't want to anymore. And at that point, if they're pushing your buttons in game, have consequences happen in game. If they're doing stupid stuff happens to them. And by stupid, I mean like consequences, things that they could have avoided had they not done whatever they were doing. I don't want to go to war. Favorite food in a campaign, ones with a wacky name. It doesn't have a wacky name, but if you go to the roleplay section of the Discord, there's a drink called Dragon's Ale, and I love it because people are like, I can go in and I can drink anything, and I'm totally fine. Yeah, well, this Dragon's Ale was made for dragons by dragons, and so it has a con save of 30, and if you fail, you immediately go unconscious. Not dying, just unconscious. So it's fun to see people go, hey, you should try Dragon's Ale, and other people go, no, don't try it, and it's like screaming. It's great. I love it. If you could have any accent from around the world, which would you take? I would take either Scottish or Irish. I like Irish a little bit better in terms of how it sounds, though I have more of a personal connection to Scotland. I've been to Scotland. To be specific, I went to Edinburgh, Loch Ness, and Glasgow. And I actually own a square foot of land at a historical castle north of Glasgow called Dunan's Castle, and have the honorific title of Laird, though it's honorific. It's not true, but they're doing a renovation of the castle because it had a major fire that happened there. Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something, and this is like a 200-year-old castle that completely gutted the place. And so the new family bought the castle and is selling pieces of the land as an honorific. Come on. And it's very interesting. We visited there. My family, all members of my immediate family, and even some in my extended family, bought pieces of land there. So when we went to Scotland for a trip, we went there and we had a tour of the area and the grounds. We saw our plot of land, and we also had a high tea on the grounds. It's like a picnic, and it was the best way I could describe it was magical. Hold on, let me see if I can try and find a picture of the tea and even the castle itself. Scotland trip. Here we go. Let's go all the way down. Yeah, there we go. So these are some pictures I took of the tea, and then this was the castle itself. Let me get, that's probably the whitest one. There you go. So here's the tea, more tea, and then this was the castle itself. You can see how it's kind of all ruiny because it got completely burnt out. Yeah. What else? But yeah, so I would like Scotland because I have more connection to Scotland. I've been to Scotland. I also know that I'm directly descendant from a family, from a number of families in Scotland. I'm also descendant from England and Ireland as well, but I know the Scotland one. I'm pretty sure I'm directly descended from a laird of a castle, actually of Urquhart Castle, which is on Loch Ness. If you look up Loch Ness, you'll see the castle, and I'm pretty sure I'm directly descended from one of the people who were in charge of it. And in fact, I think I'm descended from both the owners of the castle and people who worked at the castle, because there was the Urquhart family that were like the sheriffs of the Urquhart Castle. They took the name from the castle, and I'm related to them on my mother's side. And then I'm also related to the Grants, who were in charge of the castle for many, many years on my father's side. And I think I'm pretty sure we're directly descended from one of the lairds of there. And laird just means lord. It's a Scottish way of saying lord. I'm pretty sure China, or however it's spelled, is going to be in Tomb because you early confirmed you were in Tomb, and we already know some Saltmarsh characters to be there as either Cyrus or Yaga. I can pretty much confirm China is going to be there because I'm going to be in Tomb, and all the characters out in Tomb are going to be characters from the past, and since I've from past pre-writtens, and since I've only been on one other pre-written, pretty good bet that I'm going to be Gina. Let me buy a trader, and let me buy a trader here as well. Have you ever had ice cream in the middle of the night and then had nightmares about it? About what? I don't know what about. I'm assuming about it. I've not had nightmares about it, but I've definitely had ice cream in the middle of the night. Have you played a level 20 character, and if so, was it fun? I intend to have my players reach level 20 next year. Have you run a level 20 game, or would you ever run one? I haven't personally run it, but I've been in it. We got to level 20 in the Immortals campaign. And we played a post-game level 20 as well. I found it fun, but I don't think you can play it very often because you can't play a whole campaign as them. Because you already reached your maximum potential, possibly. So it's kind of, there's not much more you can do. You kind of, anything that you can go up against. The hardest part Jacob has about them is writing for them, because you're practically gods at that point. So there isn't much you can do to challenge them anymore. Did new player join Avnia? A new player did join Avnia. We will have 5 players. It is someone who has been on the channel before, but I won't say who. Okay, get first in there. Cool. And I think I need a. Can I buy a builder here? He's a builder. Cool. Let's do purchases. Sure. What if Civilization had lyrics? The main songs do. I know for Civilization 4, which is the one people tend to think of when you think of like a song from Civilization, is Baba Yetu, which is the Lord's Prayer in Swahili. So, more you know. I'm descended from a duke who was drawn and quartered for treason, so my family moved to Germany for a while. We've lived in America for a few generations, but I love Germany. I didn't have as nearly crazy of a story as that, but I think a lot of us can be traced our lineage back to, especially if we have European descendants of European ancestry. We probably have a lot of kind of royal blood in us. I'm related to a pirate. That sounds cool. That's kind of a cool one to say. I've got to go. Best of luck with your game and stay well. You too. What do you like better? Who do you like better, Logan or Jacob? I'm also a choice if you don't want to offend anyone. You, absolutely. No. Um, I will say Jacob simply. Oh, I already have. Okay. This one doesn't have a library at University of Rice. I'll say Jacob simply because I have known him longer. He's one of my closest friends. While Logan, I've known, but I haven't. I'm not like I. We're friends, but we don't talk often. We don't talk about things very much. It's kind of friends by via not circumstance, but because of people that we know. So more acquaintances than anything. So that's why I like Jake. I like Jacob better. I have to rewatch the first two episodes of Avenue for tomorrow. That's like 10 hours, or no, it's like almost 12 hours. So good luck on that. Since both campaigns are nearly 6 hours apiece. Not campaigns, both episodes were nearly 6 hours apiece. I'm related to the Blackfoot Native American tribe. That's interesting. Um, I don't know if I have any Native American in me. I probably have a little bit, but not enough to really count it as anything. I know most of my genealogy because we did have a genealogy test. It's pretty much all British Isles and a little bit of southern Germany, near like Liechtenstein. So, but that's very little. Not enough to really. It's not actually enough to count it, but not to focus on it. Let's get the let's get this going. Let's get you. This is grants a free trader route, increases trade coverage by 1. Cool. So let's. I want to actually move you to Lyon, and then let's. I think yeah, we can. Ooh, I don't have enough gold for that. What made you want to run Avnia? I had made the world of Avnia a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but I've been working on it for a long time, like a year and a half or something like that now. And finally, I just was like, I want to actually play a campaign in it. And then randomly, Jacob, Colton, and Spencer, and Grace, we were all together at one time, at one point, and we're like, let's just play a one-shot D&D game. Sure, why not? And I was like, I could run it in my world, and they're like, yeah, sure, let's do that. And so we did that, and it was became the session 0 for Avnia, because after that they made they made characters, and they loved it so much that we wanted to continue it. So we made it into a campaign, so just to play on Arcane Arcade. It's a thing that's referenced in the intro to the first game of Avnia, the scrolling text. And so we just decided to go from there. I wanted to play it as a campaign, but I wasn't sure if I was actually ever going to do it, and we ended up doing it and having fun with it. So that's that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's switch with that. Yeah, let's switch with that. Cool. Yes. Cool. Should have this. Yes, I do. I can upgrade them finally. I can bring up this. And then let's invest in a caravan. Okay. How many episodes of Avnia are there? I'm watching Test Track right now, but I'd love to see that game if it's not too long. There are currently only 2 episodes up. We play live, so we only have played 2 episodes. And tomorrow will be the 3rd episode. So we haven't played a whole lot yet. They're still kind of in tutorial land, as I've been calling it. So not a lot, about 12 hours worth right now, because it's been like 5 hours and 40 minutes for one, and 5 hours and 50 minutes for the other. Cheapest McGeebus, I'm related to multiple Revolutionary War English generals, as well as multiple American generals, and also multiple Civil War generals. You're related to a lot of generals. D4 DMing or playing, I am also a choice, especially if you don't want to offend anyone. I love how that yours is a choice for everyone. Why does Peter really want me to go to war right now? I enjoy playing the most because that is the thing that I'm the most used to. Um, I am enjoying DMing, but I haven't DM'd a whole lot, so I'm still learning. That's kind of how I see it. Maybe someday I might like DMing more than playing, but for now, I like playing because that's what I'm comfortable with, because that's what I've done the most. Yeah, 12 hours before the next live game, so want to stay up all night and watch it? No, don't do that. Actually, I want to change that. Hold on. Let's go seller. Hello, I made a mistake. Hello, mistake. I am Tyler. Coffee is helpful for this type of stuff. Jacob drinks a lot of coffee. He drinks a lot of G Fuel as well. Both because of sponsorship and not. He actually does like it. What are some of your unpopular opinions, D&D or otherwise? I don't know if we want to say anything. I don't even know if I have a lot of unpopular opinions, but I think I have... Because I'm not much of a contrarian. I think the biggest thing is... I think anyone can agree with a lot of my stuff if we talked about it. I don't know. I don't know if how I can say any better. Have you ever ate chicken nuggies? I have. They're okay. I like chicken tenders better than chicken nuggies. Sure, let's do the orange one. To be for coffee or energy drinks, I am also an option if you don't like either. I will take you then. I literally don't drink either. I almost don't drink anything with caffeine. Not because for any specific reason, I just don't. I drink a lot of water. I drink some soda, but a lot of the soda I have is non-caffeine. It's like Sprite, 7-Up, root beer. Those don't really have a lot of caffeine in it usually. So I'm pretty non-caffeinated. So I'll pick you. There, you. Brutally honest liar. I'll pick you. Yeah, tendies is better than nuggies. Let's see. Copies are... Nickel. No wonder Tyler is so calm. Compared to Jacob, who has mountains and mountains and mountains of caffeine, yes, very much so. Let me see, no one's... Oh, cool. What game is this? It looks kind of familiar. This is Civilization 6. I have a few mods on that make it change, so one of the things is the actual graphics look a little bit more, I can't say natural, but less cartoony than the default game looks. I want to stick one here. Or do I want to go over here? I think I might go over here. If I build it here, I have access to the coast. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I could build a, I think I could maybe build a canal here, potentially. Yeah, let's build there. So yeah, this is Civilization 6 with mods. Should I go to sleep? It's currently 1:58. That is up to you. It is currently almost 11 o'clock for me. So I might go for a little bit longer, but we'll see. I feel so appreciated. I need to change my username because I made it when I was 14. Yikes. That is a big old yikes. But my name for my stuff is something I made when I was probably, oh god, probably 10 years ago now. So when I was 13, so not much different. Where are you, Mr.? Let's put you here. Let's upgrade you to the Grand Imperial. Cool. Where am I in here? I am in the highest group. That's fine. I do need more, but is there a good place? Not great. Let's build a water wheel. Oh, how do you build a granary here? What the heck? That needs to go first. Okay. I've never played them, but I've watched others. Yeah, they're fun. I've played Civilization for a long time now. I can't play it, as I said earlier, before you came in. I can't play it as a relaxed thing. I don't pay too much attention to them. Not that I don't pay any attention, but I don't go for the most optimal route. Let's just get one, sure. And kind of just play as I want. Here's a deep philosophy question for you. Pancakes or waffles or French toast? I am probably more of a waffles guy myself. I like them in different ways. I like chicken waffles. I like just regular waffles. I like Eggo waffles. Yeah, I think I'm more of a waffles guy. I am also an option if you just like carbs. I like carbs, so I just figured out how to fix mixers. Just don't let people play them. That's pretty much what most of the hosts figured out too, because they are no longer an official class. They are completely have been sidelined and scrapped at this point. So Wizards of the Coast figured that out. Jacob figured that out. Okay. I like how this mine has been burning for, this quarry has been burning for like centuries now. Cool, I can, do I want to try and see if anyone is flippable? Hold on, loyalty, let's see. So I'm assuming you're too much. Yeah, you're way too much. Way too much. No, you're not even close. This is gonna be way too much. I can't really flip a city-state. Yeah. Okay. So probably gonna just stick you somewhere. Hold on. Let's put that. Let's put you in Novogrod. Let's promote you to this. Cool. Steams McBeans. That's your new name. Welcome. You are now a new person. You have a new body. You'll forever be known now as Steams McBeans unless you change your name. Is sand a valid source of nutrition? No. No, not nutrition. Minerals, maybe. Not nutrition. If you try, I wish you luck, but you will probably die. Let's put it here. Oop. No, I won't do that. Okay. I might go for another 30 minutes, so if you guys have any pressing questions you haven't asked yet, please do so, because time is running out. Let me see if I can actually... Can I build here? Oh, no, I don't want this. Can I build here? Where? Yeah, I can. Let's put that... Oh, nope. Let's put this in the queue. Let's buy this. Let's build you here. Cool. And then let's put it in the medieval walls. Sure. Let's build a bank. Let's build a theater site. Let's go here. Cool. Who was your favorite player or the best one at one of your tables? Grace is always a fun one. She's great at role playing. Her character is very intricate. Jacob is fun now with Damon, especially. His voice is very great, and I think he's gotten to be a much better role player since he started role playing more on streams and stuff. Same thing with kind of Marshall. He was good. He was good with having voices and kind of a depth to his characters. Yeah. Also, favorite Star Wars movie. I am also present if you haven't seen any. I've seen all of them. I am a big Star Wars nerd. Actually, give me a second. Let me unplug this. I can keep talking to you guys while I do this. Yes, I'm wearing an XP level 3 shirt. I have a giant lightsaber. That's like $200, $300. I got at Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. Made it myself. And as I said, I played Star Wars: The Old Republic. I've also played the Star Wars Battlefront games, both the original two back in the PS2 era, as well as the EA ones later on. I haven't played a whole lot of the EA ones, but I played some. Yeah, so my favorite Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back is always a good one. I don't want to change it. Let's move you to Paris. I like Revenge of the Sith, honestly. Even though it's a prequel movie, I actually do like that one. There's of course issues with it. I think that every Star Wars has its issues. But I do like Revenge of the Sith. I did. If I'm going to pick one from every era, I did like. Sure. Oh, what's the first one? Force Awakens. I like Force Awakens. I think the other two had their issues with it. So everyone has their issues. So, what is the music of life? The music that's in your soul. Do you watch anime? If so, what are your favorites? I do not watch anime. Never got interested in them. Damon is so Canadian. I love it. Yep. I'm planning on running a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one-shot. I'm thinking of using the Lord of Blades stat block for Shredder. Characters are level 20. Thoughts? Could there be a better Shredder? I don't know. I don't even know the Lord of Blades, but that sounds like it would work. Sounds fun. That seems interesting. Sure, why not? It really depends on if you think that's fun, if you think the players will like it. Go for it. Absolutely. I'm a person who's very much a believer in a very personal choice amongst the group. If you got to play D&D with any, if you got to D&D with any studies, alive or dead, I'm assuming you mean which would I choose. I would like to play with Matthew Mercer since he seems to be he knows the game a lot, and so he'd be very fun to play with. And he'd be a great role player, plus fun voices, which would be awesome. I feel who else would be a fun role player to play with? A lot of actors probably. Not because I'm particularly like actors, but I think they would be good at the role play part of it. Um, I think like some of the Stranger Things kids would be kind of fun since the first season was so Stranger. It was so D&D focused, and actually the third season had a lot of D&D. It would be interesting to see them play D&D. As I said earlier, I think Emma Watson, she's kind of intelligent, and she also is an actress, so it might be interesting to see how she would role play. Um, I don't think I would want any politicians, because I don't think they would get the role play part of it, or they would get too deep into the politics of inter-party drama and stuff like that, and I don't need that in my life. I feel like they're a little too stuck up to get into it. What's the weirdest type of jerky you've had? I think I've had alligator jerky. I think that's probably the one that's the most interesting. We have a jerky place, like a weird jerky place, like an hour's travel from where we are. That we've gotten like jerky from them like once before. Let's neutralize the governor. Fine. Who's sending me stuff? Okay, not anyone you guys need to know about. So alligator jerky probably. No. Is Arcane looking for GMs to run games for they can't? Kind of like an outsourcing thing? No, we are all an internal thing. It's a friend group that just likes to play together, so we play together. And if someone wants to pick up a game and we have the slot for it, we do. Otherwise, no. We don't really outsource. This is all us. This is us being the nerdy friend group we are. You kind of get a window into our lives. I would have to place D&D of Stanley. That might be an interesting one. He was creative. He could come up with some interesting. That's a weird place for a thing, but sure. He could come up with some interesting concepts and stories. What is life's greatest mystery? Serious? There's, I think of two serious ones. Where we all began, and by we I mean just the universe in general. What was the before? Let me close that. I don't need that opening markers. And what is beyond the known galaxy? What is in the black? A funny one. Where does the wizard come from? What's his story? Why is he the way he is? I don't know. Who Joe is. True. And where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from? Kind of Joe. Well, I don't know how you can do that other than just meeting us and getting to know us. I don't know. From West. Yeah, you are your own part of the group. Yeah, let's just foment unrest just for fun, just to level up a little bit. Hopefully you don't die. Campus? Oh, there's a 2. I can put on a 2 spot. That's not bad. There we go. Let's get control of Vapunrai. Cool. Places are starting to get bigger now, and this is fine. So, just so you guys know, I'm going to be on for about another 15 minutes, unless someone comes in and says, hey, I want to do stuff. So, if you guys have any questions, any last minute questions, you have 15 minutes. Come up with some. You have a kitchen with everything in the world in it and 30 minutes to make the best sandwich with under 6 ingredients. What do you put on it? I would make a Monte Cristo, which is a fairly straightforward dish in terms of what is inside of it, but what makes it good is what you do with the sandwich. So the Monte Cristo is you get bread. I don't know if I would say white bread, but something kind of like that. Then it's ham, cheese, turkey, put together, deep fry it, cover it in powdered sugar, and serve with a side of jam, like a berry jam that you would then cut like off a piece of the sandwich and then dip it into the jam and eat it like that. Something that they serve at Disneyland that I really like and get a lot. Whenever I try to go there, I try to get like once. Hopefully. Not always, but because it's a little expensive. But if you IRL had one cast of Wish, what would you use it for? That's a very good question. And there's a lot of things I could wish. Right now, I would wish for the pandemic to go away. It's a little rough with it right now, and I don't want to deal with this anymore. Plus, it would save a lot of lives and a lot of money. So, that's what I would use it for right now. What is life's greatest illusion? The illusion that we are all different. Unless you got that from what you will. Will there be more streams like this? Maybe. Again, we have no plans whenever we do these. We kind of just say, hey, let's just do this. And just kind of do it. Do you want me PM on Discord to remind you of the Toma Beast things with the Death Bar fights? Yes, please, actually. Please PM me that and send me a link to it. I will look at it. If a paladin made an oath of vengeance against people who eat pineapple on pizza, would he be lawful good or evil? I don't like pineapple on pizza. I think it is dumb, but I don't think it is a good thing to try to smite anyone who does it. I would say that it's lawful neutral. I don't think it's evil either. Oh, there's a flood, but it's been mitigated. Cool, and then I can level up you again. Let's ferment scandal. How many characters do you have backlogged? Well, my D&D Beyond says like 77 right now. I don't know if I would count them. I would count very little of them as actual campaign characters. But I've created a lot of characters that I could potentially pull in if I wanted to. Be careful with your wording. I would be much more careful with my wording if I was doing the wish. I want to just say what I just said just now. So, let's sabotage production. How would you make a worship of a god decay without being mega evil? You could technically have them as a life god. Actually, hold on. This is a economic policy. I need to look over here. +4 trade routes. Cool. That's fine. I would have them as a life god and be part of a cycle, where decay and like death would be one side of the cycle, and then birth and like maybe fertility or growth is on the other. So they work in tandem with each other rather than one being purely evil. How'd you go about a paladin oath to dragons? You mean homebrew? That I don't know. If you're talking about story, maybe they gave an oath to a dragon for some reason or another. Maybe the dragon saved them. Maybe the dragon is a leader of a country. Maybe they just have a close connection to the dragons of the world, and so they devote their life to either protecting them or serving as like a human emissary of them, maybe something like that. As for like a homebrew way of doing it, that I won't say anything about because that would take a lot of time to come up with. Plus, I don't want to give anything away in case we ever do something like that in a XP Level 3 Patreon homebrew pack. Have you seen my Python A Quest for the Holy Grail? I have not, but I know some memes from it, so I practically have seen it then? Not really, but yeah. Favorite mythologies? I like as for mythologies, I like the Greek the most, probably. But I don't like everything about Greek mythology, so if I was going to say Greek like gods, I really like Athena, and I like Artemis. Those are probably my two favorite Greek gods. I also like Persephone, I think, but like a variation of Persephone. If you go on like I think the app is like Webtoon, and look up the Ponderworld way of how they're going about the Hades Persephone myth. I like how that type of it is. I do like some Egyptian. I do like some Nordic. I like more Nordic a little bit more than Egyptian. I used to be really into the Egyptian, but I kind of have since gotten out of it. I took a whole class that focused on voodoo, so you can kind of count that as a mythology. So that was interesting. Favorite video game series? I would have to say the Fallout series. I also do like the Assassin's Creed series, though some of them are better than others. I would say like of the newer ones, I like Odyssey a lot. I'm not as keen on Origins. Syndicate, not really. Unity had potential, but they pushed it so much that it was a little rough to play. I still think Unity is probably the best world, like the best city I've ever seen in a video game ever. It's so detailed and so alive that it's incredible. But again, it's so taxing on a system that you can't play it, and so buggy, and it has problematic that it's hard to play. But yeah, so Black Flag was amazing. 3 was the first one I ever actually played, so that was great. 2 I really like. I think that's like the quintessential Assassin's Creed. 1, Brotherhood, alright. Revelations, alright. Have you ever played, have you ever stepped on a melody before? If so, I feel your pain. I have not, but I can imagine it. I call them caltrops. Pick a number between 20 and 100, please. Okay, why are you declaring war on me? Cool. I'm glad I got a walls there. I'm gonna need a better walls though. Glad I have you there too. Let's go with 74. Favorite alignment to play? I usually tend to play like either a neutral good or a lawful good. So, one of those two. Where are they on the list, by the way? So, you're there. Okay, so you're there. I'm gonna need... Can we actually change that? Bring you down. Cool. And then actually... Q... Medieval walls. Let's swap. There we go. Louisiana voodoo/hoodoo is the best to learn about. Yeah, I learned about some of Louisiana. I've also learned that's rough. Some of the original from Haiti, I believe it was, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple years. Let's keep you there for now. So I know some of it. IPM's in Discord. Cool, thank you. Gotta drop, but thanks for answering my questions. Good night. Good night to you as well. See my McBeans. I see you as well. I'll be dropping in a couple minutes as well. 5 minutes. So again, if you have any last minute things you want me to talk about, please do so soon. Ooh, this is a bit of an invasion force that they have come in. Jeez. Boop. Boop. I think I might need to buy me a... Oh, I could buy a frigate. Let's buy a bombardier. Then move you out here and buy crossbowmen. It's 2:25. I should go in a second. The pressure is on. Indeed. Oh, they just charged in and instantly died. What is your favorite chicken wing sauce? I tend to use like a honey mustard, probably. Have you ever punched a woman and laughed when they fell in D&D? No, I have not. What kind of sadistic things are you doing over there? If you had to fight one character of your choosing, who would it be? One character of my choosing? Is this a D&D character? Or is this a, or what is this? What's the... Thanks. If I had to choose one D&D character that I had to fight, I would fight my character Thanhella, but so long as she didn't have her bow and arrow. Because she would be as weak, if not weaker than me. So... Cool. Then it would be Thanhella without the bow and arrow. And without access to magic. Because she had a 6 in her strength. So... I could... It would be fairly even if we did that then. Opinion on Arby's and Colton's addiction. That's it. That's my entire thought. I don't know why he goes to Arby's, honestly. Yeah, she was she can be powerful, Thanella. She can be powerful, very powerful. If you take away her magic and bow, though, she's not nearly as in such a good way. Earn double people of this class. Great artist, sure. I don't care enough to put too much in there. She was actually the revised ranger too. Okay, and then bomb you. Cool. These people did a really bad idea trying to invade. I don't know why they did this. Nope, not gonna do that. Cool. And then I can promote you, what I want. I want this. And then let's go with enlightenment. And then let's get rid of you. And then bomb you. You're dead. Cool. Alright, guys. It's 11:30. I'll answer this last question from Ace Change of Pace. What is some of your fears? I have what is called the Call of the Void. Whenever I'm on the edge of a high thing, or I'm high up in some way, a lot of ways, I feel like I have to jump, and I hate that. If I feels like I'm either have to, or I'm going to, or I'm gonna fall somehow. It's interesting because like I don't get it when I'm on like a roller coaster, but if I'm like at like a window to a high building, or on something like the Tower of Terror, Guardians of the Galaxy now at Disneyland, I get kind of stressed out. It used to be really bad, and I used to just refuse to go anywhere near those. I tried to do rock climbing at one point, could not do it, and so that's probably one of my biggest fears. And I'll answer this one last one just because it came in. Is it bad if a character in your party tries to be camel and eat babies? Yes. I'll accept this peace deal, and this is where I will leave you guys. Good night, everyone. See some of you guys tomorrow for Adventures of Avnia. Take care.